Let's pray. Holy, I thank you for this day, and I thank you for these people. I thank you that they come seeking, and they come seeking you. If they're here for any other reason, I ask that your Spirit begin to move and bring them to the right reason. That reason being seeking you, being in your presence. They're not here to be entertained. That's a side effect. They're here to experience who you are and how much you love them. Let your Spirit fall. Let them feel your love and touch every place that we can't see with our eyes that needs to be touched. You can see the things that we cannot. Minister to your people today. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So, we never did play the song. Today's title is Careless Whisper. It'll make sense later. Disclaimer. Today, your toes might be okay. My toes will not be okay. And that's because today's topic is a topic that I thought I knew. And then once I was reading this and studying and getting ready, I was like, oh, we've got it bent. I've got it bent, I've got it twisted, and now I'm going to have to think about some things. So if you happen to feel your toes going, ow, just know we're in it together. It's okay. Actually, I prefer preachers who can stand up and say, hey, this is for me. Joyce Meyer is one of my favorites. And Joyce is very good at, when she's on stage, she says, look, I've been there, I've done it, I know. I'm trying to save you some time. So today, I've been there, I've done it, we're in it together. Let's just hold hands and work through it. Our scripture today is Matthew chapter 12, verses 34 through 37. This is the Message version. So if you use a different text, different Bible version, it's going to look a little different, but you'll still get the point. You have minds like snake pits. I think I left that part out. How do you suppose what you say is worth anything when you are so foul-minded? It's your heart, not the dictionary, that gives meaning to your words. A good person produces good deeds and words season after season. An evil person is a blight on the orchard. Let me tell you something. Every one of these careless words is going to come back to haunt you. There will be a time of reckoning. Words are powerful. Take them seriously. Words can be your salvation. Words can also be your damnation. In the verses before this, Jesus is being, I would say, tormented by the Pharisees. Jesus does something and then they gripe about it. Jesus does something else and then they say, you're working by the power of Satan. Jesus is like, you know what, I'm about to, And these were the religious leaders. These were the people who were supposed to show the other people the right ways. And yet they're condemning the one who is saying, we should love everybody. We should walk in love. We should walk in peace. The more he says it, the angrier they are. And it's not necessarily that they disagreed with him. Let's just make that clear. It's that he was a threat to what was established. They had their ways. They had their ways of doing things. They had their ways of operating. Some people benefited greatly from the system. Some people not so much. So it was more from that angle. It wasn't that they really thought he was a piece of caca. It was that he was a threat. So they're saying all these things to him because he's stirring up emotions. He's stirring up all these things that have been pushed down. And his point is, how do you stand up and tell these people about God? When you're sitting here and you just revealed who you really are because all of this hateful just came up. Now, in another version, the Amplified version, verse 34 says this. For out of the fullness, the overflow, the superabundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So how many people, no, I'm not going to ask. If I did ask, how many people think gossiping is bad? Hands would shoot up. How many think lying is bad? Hands would shoot up. Then if you say, how many of you have told a lie, y'all all going to get mad at me. How many of y'all gossip? Y'all all going to get mad at me. But it's that's where I had it twisted. I thought because, well, if we're not saying evil, we're not saying, I'm going to use you because you're safe, okay? That Lavette is a demon-possessed piece. Like, I'm not saying those things, so I'm okay, right? Wrong. Because what the original Greek word meant that was used in this verse was careless words, idle words, words that had no moral good about them. Carelessness. It means even just saying, that girl gets on my nerves, is careless. And then it says, every one of those careless words will come back to haunt you because there will be a day of reckoning. Now, in some versions, it says, on the day of judgment, you will account for what you have said. And we always go to what the things I just listed, the gossiping, the lying, slandering. We think that's, as long as we don't do that, we're good. But what this is saying is examine it more closely. What you're hiding, what nobody can see, what's way down in here, there's going to be a situation. There's going to be something that happens. And all of the stuff that's in here is going to come out of here. And when it comes out of here, everybody around you is going to know who you are. So here's how it busts up my toes. You know how many times in any version of my life, any year you get with me, if you could have a time machine and follow me, there will be moments, no matter how old I am, where I will say to someone else, well, you know that Joni girl. And again, just because you're safe. Gossip. Then what about if somebody invites you to a party and you don't want to go and you don't really have a good reason not to go? And in the South, we have this thing. We're not supposed to say, well, I really just don't want to go. I'm sorry. So you have to come up with an excuse, a.k.a. lie. So there have been moments in my life where I've done these things. But again, I felt like those were in those big threes, and as long as I was like, look, God, I know I wasn't supposed to tell that lie, so I didn't have to go to that party. And I'm sorry about that, but you wouldn't have wanted to go to the party either. But what about the times where I'm speaking about me? What about the mornings when I'm sitting on the couch with my coffee and I'm telling me, you don't have what it takes to get through today? What did that last part say? Words are powerful. Take them seriously. Words can be your salvation. They can be your damnation. I'm sitting there and I'm telling me you don't have what it takes. So what am I doing? I'm speaking into existence over my own life. You ain't got what it takes for today. I'm speaking not power, but oppression. I'm speaking negativity to me. Now this could go sideways real quick, and I'm trying to sidestep some things so that I don't get in trouble today. But you can't with one side of your mouth sing of God's love forever. I could sing of your love forever. It's okay if you beat that girl up. You can't do both. It can't be, I testify to the goodness and the mercy of God, but it's okay for you to be in slavery. That's as far as I'm going with it. It can't be okay. You can't speak out of both sides of your mouth. So if you're claiming to be people of God, people who pursue holy, then all of this matters. And the things we hide in here come up and out. And in this day and age, we're in even more trouble. Because guess what? It ain't even just our mouth. It's these dang thumbs. Because you think it deep down in here, and next thing you know, you done posted it. Instagram, Facebook, tweet. And then what? Yeah, there's a delete button. But you know what somebody else has already done? Somebody that don't like you that much? They screenshotted it. They screenshot that thing and they'll send it out to 1 million people. Careless whispers. Carelessness. With our hearts, with our words, the way we speak to one another, the way we speak to ourselves. There's nothing in us that holy doesn't see. You're not hiding anything from God. You think you're hiding from the people around you. But the first time you say certain things around me, I now know who you are. And I now know that I have to have my boundaries. And I now know that I'm going to be very careful. Because you could go either way in my mind. My wife, she even stricter. You say certain buzzwords around my wife, shoot, you be sitting on the couch by yourself the rest of the day watching murder shows because she ain't going to have nothing to do with you. And then when you get in an argument, so if you're in a relationship and you're arguing, it's a heated moment. It's a moment of passion. We both feel passionate about our position. And in that moment, I'm the preacher girl, but I'm not in that moment saying, God help us. In that moment, you wrong, that's why you wrong, now sit down and listen to me. How many? Tell the truth. They're careless words. If we would stop and we would think, and this is where my toes get beat up today too. What would happen if I paused? Somebody posts some mess on Facebook that really just, I'm like, oh, you need an education. And I want to give them the education. What happens if I pause? And instead of giving them the education, I go, God, am I really supposed to talk? Am I really supposed to speak? Is it my job to speak? Or should I just be quiet? What would happen if we fighting with our loved ones and we go, you know what? Let's just pray about it. Sherry might look at me like I was crazy. But what would happen? We would diffuse the situation. We wouldn't utter things that we shouldn't. We'd put up a roadblock. We'd cut it off. We'd stop the careless whispers before they come spilling out. And if we say, let us stop and pray, and then we really do pray, if you do have yuck in here, guess what happens? The Holy Spirit starts moving. And as the Spirit moves, the yuck you have in here starts getting cleaned up. And you start seeing that person with the eyes of holy and not with your eyes. Careless whispers. And the more we do the careless whispering behind someone's back or on Facebook for the whole world to see, my favorite place to get a spanking, Facebook. No matter where we do it, our words are powerful. They can bring salvation or they can bring damnation. What are you speaking? What am I speaking? Are the words that I use, do they have a purpose? Can they be used for good? Can they be used for uplifting? Can they be used to bring peace? Or are they just more yuck and hostility? Am I doing more harm than good? Salvation or damnation? When you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I suck, salvation or damnation? Which one is it? Eeny, meeny, miny, moe? Damnation? Yep. When you look at other people and you say, I'm sorry I put you on the spot like that. When you look at other people and you're like, that person ain't never going to get it together. Never ever. Never going to get it, never going to get it, never going to get it. When you do that, are you speaking salvation? Are you speaking damnation? Are you speaking good over them? Or are you speaking bad over them? Are you saying my child might not be the best child, but they're going to be the best of them they can be? Or are you saying, why can't you be like everybody else? See, one is good, and one is not so good. When you're upset with your loved ones, for whatever reason, with my family, it's a big family, there's lots of reasons. It could go sideways real quick. But when it happens, my response, is it going to be like a Band-Aid? Or is it going to be like a butcher knife? And we can choose. Our words are powerful. The way you live your words is powerful. It says here, it's your heart that gives your words the meaning. Person that has good on the inside puts good out into the world. A person consumed with yuckiness spews yuckiness into the world. A person consumed with self-doubt spews self-doubt into the world. A person consumed with narcissism says a whole lot of stuff into the world. A person who is hateful spews a lot of hate. A person who's full of love spews love. Is it always black and white? No. Because what happens is you end up, you're doing good, you're sharing good things, you're sharing love, and then Antonio comes along, and all of a sudden, but again, what would happen if in that moment you went, careless whisper, or I'm going to take a minute and pray? If you take a minute, maybe you can save your heartache, other people's heartache. Maybe you can actually live what you believe. See, when we really end up in conflict is when what's in here doesn't match what comes out. So in here, if I am a raging lunatic who thinks all kinds of crazy things, not that there's anything wrong with being crazy, that was bad. But if I'm someone who is just consumed with self and consumed with my hate for the world, how will I then be able to do good for the world? See, I can't tell you I love you and then watch you walk off a cliff, because that's not love. That's yucky. Can't say the word I really want to say, so it's yucky. But this will always show us who you really are, or your thumbs, because of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So if you want to be known as someone who is good, who follows holy, who speaks good into the world, who shows love, you have to live it. It has to be true. It has to be in here. And if it's not in here, there's one simple way you can make sure it gets in there. Yo, holy, I'm going to need you to clean up all the messiness I got going on in here. And I'm going to need you to put a guard over my mouth. I'm going to need you to help me see the world the way you see it and not the way I see it. Because I don't want my words to damn anybody. I want my words to save. I want my words to make us whole. I want my words to let everybody who meets me know that I truly, with all of my heart, want to know you more than anything else. I want my heart and my words to match. And when people look at it, I want them to see you, not me. I want them to see you. Because that's where the power is. That's where all the goodness and the mercy and the love flow from. Holy. And without holy, I don't know if it's possible to speak words of salvation, words of good, words that are good deeds instead of bad. I don't know. Because every time I try to do this without God, I end up in a ditch. I end up a mess. Our words are powerful. The way we live is powerful. If you never speak a word to a person that you work with, but they watch you daily, and they see you. Kid comes through the lunch line, doesn't have the money, and they see you slip the money to the kid. That testifies to the good. Same situation, you berate the child. That testifies to the bad. You never have to tell people what you believe, because just by watching, they will see it. But when you're saying one thing and doing another thing, you're going to end up in bad trouble. Because somebody, somewhere is going to call you out. Why do you say we supposed to love everybody, but then you don't really love Trump? I can explain it, and I can explain it very simply. His mouth testifies as well. His actions testify as well. Therefore, boundaries. I have to protect me from him in all the ways I can. Because who I know holy to be is not represented. He might understand holy to be somebody else. There's nothing I can do about that. But I know who I know holy to be, and I will be true to that. I will pray for him, for his administration. But that's as far as I'm going. I will not support. I will not vote for. Christy, you're not supposed to be political in the pulpit. I'm Christy. I do it differently. I thought we all knew this, but let me just say it again. I don't obey the rules. I want you to know who you're dealing with. I don't want to be two-faced. I want you to know that if I say this is who I am, this is who I am. And I want you to be those people. I want you to be people who move through the world, and if you say this is who I am, all of your actions line up with who you say you are. I want you to be people who, when you step into a room of other people who have heard, well, she's so-and-so, and she believes this. They look at you and they see nothing but holy working. That's who you're supposed to be. And if people look at you and can't see holy, another point for my other topic if they can't see holy working, something's not lining up. And you need to pray. And you need to say, holy, show me. You show me who you are. You show me who I am. And you show me how I'm to move. Because words are powerful. And I don't want to do anything that brings harm to anybody. And I don't want to do anything that discredits you. And all the people said.
Amen.